Marcus. So today, my presentation, the topic will be the male reproductive system. As we know, just now Daniel talked about the female reproductive system. So for male reproductive system will be more easier than female. So okay, let's start the first one. So the definition is about the male reproductive system is responsible for the sexual function as well as the urination. So the primary organ will be the testes because the sperm produced from there. So also this system include accessory reproductive organ like some ducts and some glands, and another important part is the penis, and I will talk later. Let's see the picture. So these are the male organs. So the testes will be here, the most important, produce the sperm. So from this picture, we can see the testes will be produce the sperm and will be stored in the epididymis and mature, and then through the ducts and go through, and then through the penis and come out. I will talk later. So this is a detail about the testes. So in the testes, they have a couple lobes. This we call the
semifilous tubules.
Semifilous tubules.
Semifilous tubules.
Semifilous tubules.
You can repeat the parts fine. You can repeat the parts. When he say, you can repeat it.
Seminiferous tubuli. So the sperm will produce from here, and so between the seminiferous tubule, and then there is the interstitial cell. Interstitial cells, that's the main function is to produce the testosterone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how the male the sperm and how to form.
Sperm formation. Yeah.
Yes, sperm formation from the first one, that's where we call the primary sperm motocyte, and the second step that will be to the secondary sperm motocytes, and go through to the third step that will be spermatids, and the last step will be sperm, as we know, like this, and then you can see the shape, and also they have like a tail. It's help the sperm and to move. So this is the cross section about the penis. So in the penis they have like the vessel, the nerve, and so this part we call the corpus spongious. This part, that's the urethra. Spongy urethra, that's for our urine. Also the sperm from here come to outside. So let's talk about the erection and the ejaculation. So erection, that's
enlargement.
That's the enlargement of the penis. That's help you intercourse, and then can secrete sperm to outside.
Yes.
And the ejaculation, that's for the expulsion of semen through the urethra to outside. So these are the ducts, how the sperm from the testes to outside. So the beginning from the sperm produced in the testes, and then to the afferent ductors, and then storage and mature in epididymis.
Epididymis, yes.
Yeah, and then epididymis, and to go to the ductus deferens.
Yes.
And then to ejaculatory duct, and then to urethra. Okay. So during this section, they have some glands and help this sperm and come out, and then the gland that's
Prostate gland.
prostate gland. The prostate gland is here. I'll show another picture here. So we have prostate gland and seminal vesicle and bulbourethral gland.
Yes.
So the bulbourethral gland and the prostate gland, they will secrete some semen and then help the sperm. Yeah, give the sperm nutrition.
Yes.
Nutrition.
Yes.
Give the sperm nutrition and then help the
volume of the semen.
Volume,
Help in the volume, fluid.
And then come out. Semivesicle. So let's talk about the hormone in our male reproduction. So the usually starting at the puberty, the hypothalamus begin to secrete a hormone we call the GnRH, and then trigger the anterior pituitary to release the FSH and the LH, the other two hormones. So we can see the picture. So the beginning GnRH secreted by the hypothalamus, and then the hypothalamus stimulate the anterior pituitary, and then secrete FSH and the LH. So the second step, that's LH. LH stimulated the interstitial cells to secrete testosterone. So the testosterone, that's the second sex. The second sex characteristic.
Yes.
And so FSH stimulates substanticular cells to secrete APP. Will keep the testosterone levels high in the testes. So the testosterone, testosterone stimulates
libido.
Libido. Inhibit like
Which?
No,
you are in third.
The third.
Yeah, stimulates spermatogenesis.
Spermatogenesis, and keep like
inhibit.
That's keep producing, and then we inhibit the GnRH secretion. So GnRH secretion so will be like reduce the anterior, and then reduce anterior pituitary, produce the FSH and LH. So the fourth step and raising sperm count level and cause substitutional cells to secrete inhibin, which further inhibits FSH secretion, and the testosterone stimulates libido and the development of secondary sex characteristics. So we talk about the when male get older and older, so we have some some disease like the first one will decrease the production of testosterone and the spermatozoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this usually begins at the age of 14 and older.
Yes.
And so the second one will be the ED, as we know, like
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, this function usually affect the sexual intercourse. This can affect men at any age. And so the third one, that will be the non-malignant enlargement of the prostate.
Gland, yeah.
It's known as benign prostatic hyperplasia. So it exists in nearly all men by the age of 80, and yeah. So right now we talk about the disorder. So disorder, we have like structure disorder. Structure disorder, that's we have like a cryptochromidism. Cryptochromidism.
Yeah.
This is the failure of the testes to descend into the scrotum. This usually happens by 1 year of age.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the picture. So the second one, that's testicular torsion. This occurs when the testes rotate within the scrotum, twisting the spermatic cord and interfering in the testis blood supply. This usually happens between the age of 12 and 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We can see the B, that's the picture. So another structure disorder, that's a hernia. Hernia does refer the abnormal protrusion of an organ or organ part and through the wall to the cavity in which it normally contained. So that's you can see the small intestine into the scrotum.
Mm.
So the other one, phimosis. This is tightness of foreskin. It's very hard draw back the foreskin. So usually you can do the circumcision to do the treatment.
Yeah.
So right now we talk about the infection. So infection frequently originate from intestinal bacteria, such as Escherichia coli. These bacteria usually from the anus and so into the urethra, and infect the urine, the tract, the duct, like spread to the productive ducts, and so usually can
Which one?
I mean, usually can the bacteria can make the inflammation that can make this disease prostatitis. That's the inflammation of the prostate gland, and the epididymis, inflammation of the epididymis. And the other one, that's orchitis, inflammation of the testes. So another infection, that's a sexual transmitted infection that we call STIs. So STIs also called STDs and VDS, and spread through sexual contact by both males and females. In males, this may cause prostatitis and epididymitis and orchitis. Another common STI we call genital herpes, caused by virus. This disorder is characterized by fluid-filled vesicles on and around the genitalia. This disease cannot be cured. So the last one, that's what we talk about the cancer, like prostatic cancer. So usually that's very common in United States, especially among the men older than 50 years old. And the testicular cancer, this usually affects young to middle-aged adults. Yeah, that's all my presentation. Thank you.